Hello everyone, welcome to Caroline's Craftery. So today we are back with the rubber gloves and the dies and a few goodies. Now today I want to do some multicolored stuff. Now I've been playing around with it this morning already and trying to figure out what the best way was. Now I did try wetting my whatever I was going to dye first, and it honestly didn't make any difference, and I actually liked what I had done before, like just spice spraying it. So all that I've got the same little tub I used the last video. I'm just taking this lace off of these cards. And what I did was I just laid my stuff in here and then I sprayed it. Now I've got little bottles with the fabric dye in them, diluted with water. This is a little bit stronger than what I was using when I was dipping stuff in because I wanted the color a little more intense because of the fact I'm spraying it on. And I've also got some vintage photo ink that I've put some in a bottle, not very much. You don't need much of the color dyes or the inks to get it dark enough. And I think any ink would work. So if you've got any old ink laying around, I'm sure any of it would work. And I do like it with the brown mixed in, I have to admit. So I just put my stuff in there and then I go quite close to it and I just spray random spots because I'm kind of going to have it variegated. Okay. And I didn't know, there's an old paper towel. That's my paper towel from yesterday. It looks all pretty. Now I'm going to take some other colors and I'm going to spray where it's still white. So a little bit there. And just randomly in different places. Now I'm thinking, what color do I want in there? Let's do a little bit of green in with this. I can do any colors I want. And again, just some colors seem to coat it so much better. And I want to be careful because I don't want it to turn to mud either. You know, when we add a whole bunch of colors together, all of a sudden it ends up just kind of looking muddy. So now this is here. I want to get that big, there's a couple big blobs of the, so now I don't mind there being white spots, but I don't want a lot of white. Let's throw some yellow in here and see what happens. And it's just going to make it a little bit variegated. So that's not bad. So then I'm going to kind of bunch it up softly because I don't want to squish all my inks together. And that's going to be quite grungy looking. So I'm just going to put that over here. And I got my tray over there. Now seam binding is the same. Seam binding takes the ink so quickly, so easily. So I'm just going to put a few dots of the yellow. And then this one here is kind of an orange. Even though it looks quite pink, it's actually kind of a pinkish orange if there is such a color. So I can kind of do that as many places as I want. And then let's throw a little bit of, let's throw purple in there. I find it really hard to get a really intense purple. And purple is one of my favorite colors. Now I'm tipping this up so that way I can keep my water bottle, not my water bottle, but my spray bottle a little bit better. Now let's just spray a little bit of this on there. There we go. So that's going to be kind of a nice color, I think. Now this I do want to kind of crunch up, but I don't want to like squeeze it. The color is going to run from one to the other, but that'll blend it in. So I do want it a little blob. And then I'm not doing a lot of different ones because the routine for it all is the same. All that I did was spray it, and I'll show you a tray here in a second. So we got that. And then let's do some wine color in there. So you can pretty much mix and match any colors together you want. I have to admit, this plastic tray, because it's got this lower edge all the way around, then the ink all goes and sits in there. Not that I want to waste that ink, but it's there, so then it's not really getting on my things. The only disadvantage is I don't get very many at one time. So this was a lot more time consuming doing this. But there's these here. Now, the disadvantage of spraying them is you don't really get the backs. However, these, probably 95% chance these are getting glued down to something. You're not really going to see the backs anyways. And I don't know, that doesn't look horribly bad on the back either. So let's move those over. And then what I was doing when I was getting a whole bunch of ink, and it is kind of muddy, I'll just take one of these and I'll sop it up and wipe it off. It's whatever color it turns out, that's what color it is. So then I get something that's kind of grungy, but it's better than wasting all that dye. So there we have that. Not that pretty, but boy, that's going to go really good in like a grungy journal or maybe a steampunk journal or something. So don't rule any of that out. Let's do these last things. Now these little ones, they take up the ink so good. So good. Let's do some yellow. And just spraying like an area of it. And then let's do this orangey type color. And then I do really like a little bit of vintage photo in there. It just kind of grunges it up a bit. And I kind of put that in those last few spots. But these turned out really, really good. I like the colors. Okay, now Let me kind of move some of this out of the way so I can bring in my tray. And at the end of this video, I'll do a little, we'll look at all the stuff that I've made. So this is what I was playing with this morning. Let's move these over even a little bit more, and there we go. Now that's the lace we just did. I did some cheesecloth, which is pretty bright, quite deep colors. I did this cheesecloth as well, and just a variety of colors in there. This one didn't turn out great, it just kind of turned out brown. I think I did yellows in that, or yellow in the tea dyed, but it kind of really ran together. This one here, I took one that I dyed yesterday, and I just sprayed a little bit of pink on it. It stops it from turning to mud, that is for sure. This color here, I just love that color. And then I did some other ones like greens. And I've just got them piled up. If the colors run together, that's okay. There's some, so I got two different seam bindings. One of them we just did. I think we just did that one. But I think those will look really, really good. And those I want to keep really bunched up, but I don't want to squeeze them. And then down here, we've got all kinds of colors. Like this is just green, and the vintage photos. We've got all kinds of colors that I did earlier. And they look great. I think they look great. Some of the ones that we just did. But all kinds of colors. Like this would go great in a sea journal, with that bit of aqua and the darker colors. This is one that I use just wiping out the dish. I got that one. But just a wide variety of mixtures of colors. So I really like how these turned out as well as all the other ones. So once these all dry, I was checking out, this is the day after I did the other video, actually, even though you might not see it. There's this piece here too that I did with all kinds of colors on it. And then there is this piece here too, which I did teal, the vintage photo, and a pink. And I really like how that turned out as well. This I wasn't totally impressed with, but it's not bad. And once it dries, some of these will fluff back out, like they're kind of stuck together. But it's got a little bit of blues and browns. And I think I used the vintage photo, that orangey color, and a blue. So it's got a bit of color, but not my favorite, but we'll see what it looks like when it's dried out. And then these I used vintage photo and that orange color. So we'll see what that, there's still like a bit of white in there, but that's okay. I don't mind that. It won't be white though. It'll pick up a little bit of the color. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and stay tuned because it won't be like in seconds. It'll be seconds for you, but it'll probably be the day after for me. But I will show you the finished result of the stuff actually dried and ready to use. So stay tuned for that right now.